Mr. Glass, you have been found guilty by a jury of 12 of your peers for the most heinous of crimes. Not only did you end a man's life, but you saw fit to decapitate the body of your victim. However, you have not been found guilty of murder by the jury, but in their wisdom, they have decided that your crime was manslaughter. Be under no illusion, Mr. Glass, that if you had been found guilty of murder, no matter what the reason in your own mind was, I would have locked you up and thrown away the key. Instead, I must pass sentence on the lesser crime of manslaughter. Mr. Glass, for the verdict of manslaughter, I sentence you to 10 years in prison. For the crime of possession of a rather large collection of firearms, I sentence you to 5 years imprisonment, to run concurrently. Take him down. As the court was dismissed, Judge Carter sat with his head in his hands. How had it come to this? Against everything that he holds as sacred, he had to not only steer the jury away from murder and towards manslaughter, but also to pass the most lenient sentence he could get away with. But what choice did he have? That bastard Glass family, he thought to himself. He had gotten word to Carter that if he didn't cooperate, then his wife would find out that he had a petulant for sucking the cocks of rent boys. As he was led down the old semi-dark dank staircase leading to Victorian cells beneath the Old Bailey, the so-called bastion of justice, he smiled as he thought to himself that those scales of justice were heavily weighted in his favour, thanks to a little blackmail. He laughed out loud and said quietly to himself as thinking, "It's not my fucking fault the judge was a pervert." A 10-year sentence that should have been life would have him out in 5, and thanks to his reputation, he would live like a king when he was behind the door. And as for his business interests on the out, that held no worries for Charlie Glass, as he knew that within hours of getting his pad in jail, he would have a mobile phone. And after all, he had his brother to be face of the family until his release.